Hey everybody, this is Jennifer Pertner, and I'm just going to do a quick little training here on booking with some of the different cruise lines. I want to start by saying that this is basically what I do, and everybody can do, how they work things, maybe a little bit differently, but this is just a guide for everybody. If, maybe you can get some tips or tricks or whatever to help you, right? Okay, so we're going to start with Cruising Power. When you log in to Cruising Power, you will see that it has Royal Caribbean, it has Celebrity Cruises, and it also has Silver Seas. I have not done anything with Silver Seas, so I'm not very familiar with them yet. I book a ton with Royal Caribbean. I'm here in South Florida, so it's easy for people in our area to get to a port from anywhere. We're about 2 hours from Tampa and Fort Lauderdale, and then about 2.5 to 3.5 from Miami and Port Canaveral. So most of the people in this area, they don't have to do a flight or anything, but if you're from anywhere up north, then you would be able to, add on a flight and maybe a hotel night before. I do book hotel nights before the cruises if my customers want them. Okay, so Celebrity is also another cruise line that is connected with Royal Caribbean. If your customers have loyalty points with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, they can be interchanged. So that's something that you want to make sure you let your customers know. And Celebrity is probably ships that cater towards a little bit of a more mature audience, right? They don't have all of the adventurous things that Royal Caribbean has. I mean, there are Royal Caribbean ships that don't have all the fun, adventurous things, but Celebrity is definitely, more geared. They have really nice shows. They have a lot of different things. They don't have like the flow riders and the ice skating rinks and the rock climbing walls and the aqua shows and things like that some of the newer, bigger Royal Caribbean ships have. And I know Royal is, even when they do some of their revamps on the ships, they're adding in that stuff because honestly, that's what people that have, families and teenagers or older, even 20s and 30s, that they want to do some of that adventure stuff. So that's appealing to them. Okay, so let's look at Cruising Power real quick. Over here, there's 3 little lines. These are very important. You have a lot of information under each one of these. So planning, and you guys can come in and kind of play around with these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see what their promotions are. You can explore their fleet. This ship locator, I never clicked on it, but I did today, and I was like, oh, dang, that's pretty cool. You can put in a specific ship if you're trying to find a specific ship. You can, click on any of these um, ports, and it'll tell you like what ships are there. And then over here on the filters, I just noticed you can put in a year, because I had some people that were wanting to book like out in 2027, and I'm like, what? I don't know what ships are going to be there, right? Because they change, they move all around. So then you can click on that, you can look at Fort Lauderdale, and then it tells you what the ships are. So I thought, oh, that was kind of neat. Something to just another great resource, right? Okay, let's see. Then over here, that was under planning. Yeah. You can again do itinerary searches if you're looking for a specific port. This is good directions to the port. These are things you can give, resources for your customers. Cruise planning, and then you choose Royal Caribbean or Celebrity. Your reference center, again, you're gonna choose. You have booking, lots of different, booking, well, you have espresso. Oh, and then flight finder. So I did book, I booked 3 couples out to Alaska last year, and I did the flights through Royal because they had some really good prices. Um, and so I did it, and it worked out good. So yeah, it was a good experience. I would probably do it again. Okay, and then this purchase onboard credit, I think this is new because it was in the works. But if you want to, I always like to give my customers a little bit of extra onboard credit. So you can go through here and give them that. You know, if I'm going to make like 400, $500 commission, maybe even 350, I might give them, you know, a $25 onboard credit or $50 onboard credit, just as an incentive to book with me or maybe even to book again with you, right? Like that's a good idea too. You want those repeat customers. Yeah, oh, ship locator. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. Sorry about that. Okay, so, okay, where do we start? When I have an inquiry, I do like to do these e-quotes. So because I like to give my customers like options that they can look at. And it is kind of a lot of information for them, um but again, that way they can sort of narrow down like what they want. And I make sure to tell them that, you know, I'm just narrowing it. We're trying to narrow down sort of what they want. And then I can give them more specific prices because the prices are, it'll give them the price for one person, excuse me, first and second passenger. And then if you put on there third and fourth passenger, you have to choose that. Then it will give them the price for one third and fourth passenger. So they basically have to add up, like, you know, one plus the first two, if there's going to be two adults, and then third and fourth customers, they have to add those on. So it's kind of tricky for them to figure out the price. That's why I just say, you know, look at the ships, they can kind of get an idea of the price or comparable to the other ones that I give them, which ones are more expensive, which ones are less expensive. And then once they narrow it down, I'll give them, you know, the more specific price. I will tell you, I found out just recently that you cannot do an e-quote mixing up Celebrity Cruises and Royal Caribbean cruises. So I wanted to give my customer like two options from Celebrity and three options from Royal. And every time I went through, it came back error, 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 and I couldn't figure out why. So that's the only thing I could figure out. When I separated it and I did like two celebrities, it would go through. And then when I did three royals, it would go through, but it had to go through separate. Sorry. So that's something to keep in mind. So you don't have the same frustrations that I did. But anyway, you can go through and choose royal or whichever one. You can do up to five of these options. You just come up here, you can put in the date, like when do you want to go? Let's do, this is our spring break. So I don't know if maybe some last minute deals, right? That's what our customers want. I'll go ahead and put in 3 and 4 just so that we can see how that works. I don't know what ships, let's see. Let's see what comes up with just that. It'll give you a lot of different options. I didn't even put in ports. Okay, so Caribbean, these are Caribbean. This is a transatlantic. Transatlantic means that it's going to start in one port and then it's going to sail across the Atlantic Ocean to another port and stop at that other port. So that's like a relocating. It's relocating. Let's see where this one's going. What is that one? I don't even remember which ship it was. So it's starting in New Jersey and it's finishing in Spain. So then that ship is going to be either sailing in Spain or, you know, after this season. That was Odyssey of the Seas. Okay. So here's Star of the Seas. Oh, look at that. It's sold out. Okay. So they had this ship as a travel agent discount rate. I don't believe it was this sailing. It was like March 8th or March 1st, but it's sold out for that spring break week. So anyway. Okay, so then you can just choose some. We'll just choose a couple, 1, 2, so you can see it's adding to the package. And then you just continue. Okay, then you go through and you're gonna look. This is the first one I chose. Again, I just chose these. These would not, you know, from Colombia. No, I wouldn't be doing that, but that's okay. So then you can, this one only has balcony and suites available. So then if you don't want to show them the prices for suites, you can just unclick that. And then in balcony, you're going to select this balcony category and you can choose which one of these um, choices you want to send them. Sometimes it will give you the guaranteed room if there are any available. And honestly, I don't usually like to send my customers that price just because it's kind of the lowest price and Royal Caribbean chooses their room. So I like to try to choose the room for my customers. If your customer is looking for specifically like the bottom line price, then you can give them that one, like after they've, decided which cruise they want to do. Or if they're price matching you from online, you'll want to do that lowest price. So anyway, those are some things. And so then you just click. This over here is if you want a non-refundable deposit, and the price of those are always higher. But they get to, if they decide they would want to quit the cruise or, not go, cancel, that's the right word, cancel, then they'll get their money back. So that's why it's a little bit more expensive. Okay, so you can choose, I usually choose the 3D or the 1D category. You do want to kind of learn these categories. They are important. It kind of tells you location on the ship. The higher the number, one is a better location than the three. Okay, so threes might be more towards the front of the boat, back of the boat. Sometimes they have some in the middle. It just depends on what they have. But 1D is going to be your better location, like midship, things like that. And in this case, like this spacious, it's not that much more. So I might go ahead and include that one in the price just so that they could see, oh, look, it's not that much more. Maybe I'd like that spacious ocean view, right? And then that's more commission for you. Okay, so then we go to the next sailing and you're going to do the same thing. So see, this one only has interior and suites. So, but the suite price, oh, that's not even that bad. So you might go ahead and, include that, right? And then you can just click. If you don't choose these, I believe it just sends all of them. So that's why I like to go in and choose them. Okay, so junior suite. Look at that. The grand suite isn't that expensive. That's actually not too bad. I know it's still a lot, but anyway, for a grand suite, not bad. So we can include that. All right, let's see. Then we have, okay, this one has interior, ocean view, and balcony that's available. So I'm not going to include that. You can go through and look at this and then choose whichever ones, right? And then, all right, that one just has one. SG is a special category. I don't know. That might be like one of those interior balconies that looks over the the neighborhood or something like that. Let me see, what ship is this? Oh, this is Liberty of the Seas. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to review the email. All right, now this is important. You want to edit the agent information, because if you send it to them like this, it's going to say Archer's name. But if you click right here, agent information, edit, you can put in your information, and mine is in there. This is under my husband's account, but I still send him my information because I'm the one booking with them. So whatever, you can make that whatever you want. And then you just click submit and it says accepted. And then you don't have to submit again. That was confusing to me. So you just close it and then it'll change it right up there. Okay, and then here you're just going to put in the emails. I do like to send a copy to myself so that so I know, like, what did I send them, right? And then here you can put in whatever information you want, and the personalize. I like to just say, here's 3 amazing options, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, note the departure point, and port and the dates. And then I always say, I can't wait to see which one you choose, to let them know that I'm expecting them to choose one, right? And then you have to agree to the terms. It's going to tell me I don't have an email, but okay. And so then you would just, oh yeah, see, please enter recipient's email, and then you just send it. So let's see what it looks like, because I do have some I've sent out. Let's see if I can find one. Probably not be able to find one now that I'm talking about it. Oh, here we go. Come seek your next adventure. Okay. So this was one that I sent to some customers. Here's some options. End of April, beginning of May. I can't wait to see which one you choose. So this is what their side is going to look like. It tells them, like I said, the price for guests 1 and 2. Let's go into this because that price is not right. When you click on that view itinerary, then it pops up like this. So here's a fancy schmancy quote. They put these nice pictures in for you. I love them. Okay, shows the ice skating rink, the flow rider, rock wall. You scroll down, it shows you their itinerary. I don't have to do any of this, so it's really nice. It gives you information on the ship. Again, some great pictures, and then it tells them the staterooms. They can take a virtual tour. Okay, so here's where it shows the prices. So for this interior, first and second is $883.47, and they basically have to take that and times it by 2. And then if there's 4 guests, they would take this third and fourth guest and times that by 2, and then they have to add them together. That's how you figure out the price. But your customers aren't going to know that. So that's why I say it's kind of tricky to figure out the price. So just compare it to the other ones. And then we can talk about the price. This is great too, because it gives them some other options that might be around their same date. It might be, other ships, whatever. It shows them some prices. So they can click on request and it'll send you an email saying that your customer has requested that cruise. So, or they can then request this sailing, and it will go back again to your email. So those are some nice, like I said, it's kind of a nice starting point is how I feel. Okay, so back to Cruising Power. Let's talk about then, let's say they pick one, right? We're gonna go to Ocean, Royal. Ooh, all. Why are we doing all? That's fun. They won't let you pick a ship. Interesting. Okay, we might have to go in and do it. Royal just did a big or Cruising Power did it. They had it down on Sunday for some work. Oh, maybe because I have this February 4th. There's probably nothing available. Let's do this. Yeah. So anyway, they had the site down. They probably were revamping some stuff. Just never know. Whoop. Okay. We'll just do 2. You can put all this stuff in. Children, if you want to put 2 children, you do have to put the ages in for the children. So if people want to book something and they have children, make sure you know if they have children, and you have to know the ages. If you don't know, sometimes I just guess, but for Royal Caribbean, 12 and under is considered a child. If they're 13 or over, you now have adults according to them. Celebrity breaks it down more. I think Celebrity you can do, I think it's 17 and under still, or maybe even like 15 and under. I don't know, but I do know that oh boy, because I didn't do a ship. Royal is only 12 and under. So when they have those offers of kids sail free, it's only 12 and under, and it's only certain ships or certain sailings. So that's also something that you want to consider. Okay, let's look at Allure of the Seas. This is really good because right here, if you click on this, it will show you the itinerary. So, ooh, this is a nice itinerary. Curacao, Aruba, Dominican Republic, and then a perfect day at Coco Cay. So it's Fort Lauderdale to Fort Lauderdale. All right, let's look at this one. I like this one. I did forget to say back there on that last page, you could have looked at the ship too, I think. I think I jumped ahead here, sorry. Yes, so here, Allure of the Seas, you can tell you can click on that, and it'll take you to the ship and some, what things there are. I have made a spreadsheet for my own personal use of all the ships and like what things they offer so that I can just quickly go to my spreadsheet, click on Allure of the Seas and see what it has. I've accumulated that over the 3.5 years that I've been doing this. So don't think that, you have to do it tonight. But it's something that I've just kind of added to as I've gone that's been, excuse me, helpful for me. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, spacious, yes. Open view according, oh, good. Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, SG. I knew it was some kind of a different category. So, oh, what happened here? I got kicked out. It didn't like me. What's happening right now? I don't know. All right, we got kicked out. Let's try again. No, not river. I've never done any river with Royal. I don't know if anybody else has. What did we do before? June, July? June. Is it July? I don't remember. Okay.
It was July.
July. Okay, good. Thanks. Okay, let's see. I don't know why it kicked me out, but it did. Okay, so let's try again. Hopefully it won't kick me out this time. Now we got different ideas. I really liked that one, but okay, here we go. Is it Liberty? No, it was Allure.
Maybe it was June. Sorry if I was wrong.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. I'm not really too. I'm just doing this for fun. All right, Liberty, let's go. Oh, Europe North. Okay, I like Europe. I'm gonna do Europe. I'm debating whether I should do a cruise in Europe or just fly over there and like hotel hop. I'm not sure what I want to do, but okay, let's try this one. Maybe this summer, we'll see. All right, so we got in July 12th. This is on Liberty of the Seas. So right up here at the top, there's a lot of good information. You've got Liberty of the Seas, North Europe, 7 nights. You can click on that and it'll give you the itinerary again anytime you need to. It has your date. And up here is your room. So if you would want to do more than one room, you can add a room, and that might be a whole nother training. Because that's just longer process. All right, let's pick a room. See, here's that guaranteed. And I always am hesitant because it does say that it can be what's it called? Blocked view where they can't, they might not have the best view. So I'm always like nervous to do that for a customer. But this doesn't have very many other balconies available, just the junior suite. So, all right. All right, let's do a junior suite. You click on that. All right. Now, once you click on a category, whew, look at that price. That's for 4 people. Once you click on a category, you can add gratuities and you can add insurance. So you come right up here and this is highlighted. You can click on that. But you have to have the category selected because the the gratuities can be different for different categories. Here you can put in if they want insurance, you can click add. And then here is the gratuities. I always like to tried to add gratuities for my customers ahead of time because they will have to pay those before they get off the ship. I know there's ways, I know there's people that will, get out of it, whatever. That's a whole different story. I just always like to add them on for them. Okay, so now there's also a few things on this page that are important. Right up here is a price, and you can click on that, and it comes up with this really nice price breakdown. It tells you what the deposit is that's due. So for this one, it's a $1,531 deposit. That's kind of an odd number to me, but usually it's like, 250 per person, 500. So I don't know, that's an odd number. But anyway, February 9th is when it's due. So that's giving your customers, a few days to get that payment in. And then the final amount, and the final is due April 13th. So again, those are dates that you want to know. And it tells you the category, it tells you, yeah, the price. So here's the breakdown. Guest one, guest two, it's showing them where they're saving this 850. I like to show them this because they then, think they're saving this money. I mean, I know this price is still really high, but it shows them the breakdown because, they are seeing these advertisements, buy one, get one, 60% off, right? And then you show them this 8,600, 8,600, and they're like, yeah, but you're not giving us the discount. So this shows them, breaks it down. I'm a very detailed person. I like to, see it. So I guess I like to give that to my customers. I will screenshot this and add it to a quote or whatever, right? So that they can see this. I don't add in the agency, commission. I'll cut my screenshot down to there. But if you want to see the agency commission, it's right here. So you click on that and then it shows you this would be 2,318, right? Commission. So yeah, we want to get on this one. We want to get booking this one. Okay. So anyway, and then you can also scroll down here to the bottom and you can show them oh, I did not want to do that. An e-quote. I did not want to do that. Oops. You could send in the e-quote, but at this point you probably already have. And then right here is a price quote, and it's going to pull up that same price quote that we got when we clicked on that price right up here, right? So both of those are the same. Okay, so that's if you're quoting it. If you then have the customer, they're ready to book it, you're gonna click continue. You're gonna look at the cabins, you're gonna choose one, right? And then you're going to proceed to guest details. And then you're gonna want to put in all the guest details. And then you can hold this reservation with no credit card, and it will give you a reservation number. You'll get a reservation number right here, and it will hold it for, I think it's about a week on Royal, which is really nice because it gives your customers time to, make a decision and for you to get all the paperwork and stuff. So you do have to have date of births. I like to put in their email, their phone number, all that information if it needs it. But if you don't have that information, sometimes I'll just put in my own information just to give them that quote or just to hold it for them, right? And then once they have filled out all the credit card authorization form and all that stuff, then you can go back in and make sure that their emails and addresses and all that is correct. You do have to put in dining options. Hey Joanne, glad you're here. And then all the information here. And then once you fill that in, you can review it and book it. And then it will hold it, like I said, for I think about a week. So that was basically the Royal Caribbean in espresso. So I'm gonna let's see. 3 things at 9. Yes. Okay. I know. So since I'm recording, I'm not going to do a question yet, but I'll come back and we'll do questions at the end. So let's go ahead and look at, let's see, Carnival. Carnival is pretty easy, I think, pretty self-explanatory. Um, so let's go through that one. They don't have the nice equote like Royal does. So for Carnival, I would send oh, they do have a nice one. Hold on, let me do that. They do. I have sent it before. Okay, so let's look at their website. I will say if you book a Carnival cruise, make sure you go in and you oh gosh, register it somewhere because you get points for it. You get rewards and stuff. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've been on here. Okay, booking. So we got individual, you can do groups, Carnival rewards. Here we go. So this is where you're going to want to come in, earn points, redeem points, or earn status, all this fun stuff, right? You can watch the video and then you get points. So you definitely want to make sure you do that. And I am going to admit, I've left money on the table. It's awful, but you want to make sure you do that. Okay, back to booking. You can, once you're, okay, so this is to create, right? Once you have a booking, then this is where you go. Once you have your booking number, then you'll manage it. And then here's some rates and booking procedures. So you can always click on this and get some more information. And then this is if you want to look up their VIFP number, you can also do that in the reservation once when you're looking. And then this gives you club information. And I will say Carnival is in the process of changing over their loyalty stuff. It's kind of a mess if you ask me, but I think they had like they were ready to switch it and then they got so much flack from I think customers that they decided to like postpone it, and so they're still in the process of switching everything, and I really don't even know all the details. I can't keep up, but anyway, it's definitely if you have customers that have those loyalty, you definitely want to look into it and see and make sure that they're getting all the information. So all right, let's see here. Yes, I'm recording. Okay. All right, Christy, I'll come back to your question. Yeah, that I see you put. Okay. So let's keep going. We have the ship. So again, you can look up all the ship information, marketing tools. I don't think I showed you on Royal, but you can find this collateral, free collateral information. Royal will send it to you. I have booklets. It's really nice, actually. I think I'm a paper pencil kind of person, maybe old school, but I like to have those books and like see the rooms and see the stuff. There are online options too, so I can show you those. But this just has here's the digital brochures. Okay, so there's a lot of different resources that we have. And so you definitely want to take advantage of all these things. Here's logos, videos, images, YouTube, all this stuff, right? I mean, gosh, if we can't promote this, I don't know. I don't know why, right? I don't know why we can't promote this. There's so many good things. Okay, so anyway, and then once your clients are booked, you can go in and do all these things, fund ship pay, you can add money to their account. Again, it's kind of like, we did in Royal Caribbean online credit, just all kinds of different things. This tells about some information before they board. This has their Cheers program. If you have any customers that are going, they are changing the price of bottomless bubbles April 2nd. So you want to make sure that if your customers are wanting to purchase bottomless bubbles, they do it before April 2nd. There's my disclaimer. 2026 in case this video, is out there in the world later on. But anyway, so they are raising the price a little bit. Okay, so there's shore excursions. Again, knowledge. You've got so many good resources. I have not clicked on all of these. I do not know all of this. I will never know all of this. Um, But if I need something, I can come here and I can look it up, right? So don't ever feel like you have to know all this or anything. Okay, this says new. So see, we can come in here and we can look. Oh, here's discounts. Yay, that's a whole nother training I'm doing later this week. Okay, let's go to individual booking. Not later this week. Sorry, later this month, I believe. It's later this month. Okay, so yeah, you're just gonna you know, break this down. I do love how Carnival gives you multiple choices. NCL is the same. Royal Caribbean, you can only choose one of these. And then if those once they've given you those options, if if you can't find what you're looking for, you have to go back in and you have to then select a different port. So you can have in Royal, you have to do multiple searches, is what I'm saying. In this one, and like NCL, they give you, you can choose them all in one. Okay, and then let's say we want to go from, again, Miami. Again, in this one, you can choose all the Florida ports. In Royal, you have to choose one port and do the search, and then you have to choose the next port and do the search, and then you have to choose the next port and do the search. So that is definitely a nice thing about these as opposed to Royal. Okay, so you can put in here if they're military. Okay, Interline, let's click on that, is the travel agent rates. No, I think I'm not because that's another training. All right, let's look at sailings. Okay, so basically it pulls up all the different options from what I had given you. Here you can change how many guests if you want. Sometimes, yeah, I think you can do 5 in this one. And again, you can add these things if you forgot to add them. You can put in their state. And then you can put in their VIFP number. You can search for their VIFP number. I believe you have to have their birthday. Yeah, first name, last name, and birthday to look it up. So if you have that information, you can find that for your sailors. Okay, so yeah, I didn't really do too many, but oh, I think it did change the price a little bit when we put in Florida. Yay. Um, okay, so 4th of July. Okay, so if you click right here, again, it'll give you the itinerary. This is going from Port Canaveral, Grand Turks, Amber Cove, and Celebration Key. Here it'll, if you click on Mardi Gras, it will give you the ship information. Mardi Gras is a nice, one of their nice newer ships. Okay, and then here we can click on this eye and it will tell us what is the offer, right? These are called offers. Carnival chooses your room. So this Super Saver is basically a guaranteed room. Okay. They're going to choose the room. You don't get to. The deposit is non-refundable, non-transferable. So you can click on those. Oh, those balconies are a little bit higher. What's this one? Oh, this is a different ship. I see. Horizon. Okay. So let's say we want to choose this one. We can select this sailing. And then it kind of breaks down. Oh, sorry, those were not the offerings. Those were the different cabins. This is your offers. Okay, so here is, again, this one is it includes $50 on board credit, $1 room location upgrade, and you get to choose your room location. That Super Saver one was the one that they had on the front, and they had that one on the front because it's the lowest price. So if you click on that eye, that was the one that Carnival chooses your stateroom, and here's the code, PSV. That code doesn't really matter too much unless your customers have found a price online on their own and you want to match that price or maybe even save them money. You need to know that offer code, right? Because that's how they're getting that price. So if they give you somewhere on their reservation or their quote that they've been given, it will say what their offer code is. So then you can come in here and you can find it. and then you can match their price. That's something I had to learn on my own. Okay, so anyway, and then, okay, we can compare offers. This is sometimes good if you want to compare them, because then we can come down here, compare three. Okay, so then you click on this little thing. Woo, this is a lot of information, right? These are all the categories. This is your least expensive category, probably going to be a guaranteed room. Oh, nope, you get to choose your location. Okay, this isn't available. So you get to choose your location if you choose the Fund Select offer. Let's go to 4B and click on details. All right, here's where all the meat and potatoes are. Onboard credit, you get $50. This is where it tells you what are they getting, right? Okay, for this one, you get to choose your room, but you don't get any of that other good fun stuff, onboard credit and stuff. So sometimes you have to look at the price because like this is 807, but they get $50 onboard credit. Oh, wow, this is a way better price, right? 838. Sometimes this price will be higher, but they get onboard credit. So if you minus it, then, the higher price might be a better option for them because they get that onboard credit. So you just have to kind of go in and play around with it, right? And look. So yeah, this just takes a little bit of time to go in. Once you start playing around with it, it becomes a lot easier. And then you can click on any of these if that's the option you want. So let's choose this one. Okay, I don't like this. I'm going back. So yes, I want to return. Okay, so why I went back is because it took me straight to the room, which is fine. But if we look at these options again, and I did like that option, and I click on that option. Oh, wait, where to go? Yep, continue to stateroom. Okay, it's going to give me all those options again. And I guess I didn't really have to come back, but I always just like to see, oh, I know why I came back. To see what were those different prices, because you can see over here, and it did tell us this information on that last page as well. But okay, so like this one's 808, but then this one is a 4D and it might have better location, right? If you don't want to be on the Lido deck. And it's the same price. Or here you can upgrade for $1. That was one of the specials, $1 room upgrade location, right? And that's going to be on a 4E, which is decks 10 and 11. And then here we got 11 and 12 for the same price. So it's not going to be that much more for your customer to upgrade to one of these little bit better rooms, a little bit better location, right? 15 and 16, that's a higher higher deck. So maybe they want that. Why I did come back to this is because of this quick quote right under here. That option was not on the page that we were on before, but I like to click on that because this is where you can send your customers the quote. Okay, so this tells them a lot of information. Be careful with this. Agent view, guest view. Agent view, if we scroll down, is going to have the commission. Okay, so here it's telling you commission, 292 is going to be your commission. And then here it does tell the onboard credit. But if you click on guest view, it gives them the dates, the ship, what's the category. It's going to tell them the itinerary, and it's going to give them a breakdown of the price. The other thing I like about this is you can add the insurance right in here. You can add it for only one person, which I don't think I've ever had anyone do that, but I don't know. But anyway, that's something to keep in mind. And then gratuities, right? So I'm going to go ahead and send this like to myself. Sure, J partner. So we can see what it looks like. You can put whatever you want in there. We're going to email the quote. And then that way we can see what it is that our customers are seeing. I do this all the time. I send myself all kinds of stuff so that I can, look and see what are they going to see. Oh, here we go. Carnival Cruise quote. All right. So here we have fun awaits, 7-day. I just think it's maybe not quite as nice as the Royal Caribbean one, but it's going to give them the information, right? Um, okay, guess there's the information, fare, payment, perks. All right, find your offer, find your details here. It tells them all the information. Book with your travel agent. So again, it's an email. Let's see who it's coming. It's coming from, oh, no reply. So they can't reply to it, um, but if, they're going to get back to you, right? And you can put all your information in there. I don't see Archer's information, so, that's nice that it just is going to give from your travel agent. Would be nice if we could put our name on here somewhere, but maybe you could put that in the little message. I will say though, you don't get a lot of room to write in that message. So you kind of have to keep it short. Okay, so that's that one. We are kind of running out of time here. Let's see if we can go to NCL. NCL is pretty that one, I have so many good things to say about NCL, and we're getting paid more commission. Woo woo. Yeah, they took off the non-commissionable rates or non-commissionable something, NCLs or something like that. And so now we get paid more commission, which is great. No, NCL would be Norwegian. Anyway, you're gonna click right here on NCL Quest. And they have a lot of great resources too. On their website, you can find all their ships. You can find, all the information. Really nice. The thing I love, oh my gosh, love, love, love the most about NCL is look, they keep your the things that you have searched for in the past, I don't even know, 6 months. I mean, I don't even know, but that is so nice because if you are looking for something, you search it, you do all this work, and then you leave Royal Caribbean or you leave Carnival, it's gone. Like you don't, unless you hold it, but again, it'll only hold it for about a week. But NCL holds it. So I just think that's amazing. Like for me, it just saves me so much time, right? So again, you're just going to put in all this information, how many guests. I do think now see NCL does children 2 through 20 years. Is they're considered children. So you can put however many of those, whatever. And I think you can put 5. Oh, they're letting me put, oh, that's it. Look at that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can put 8 people in a room. Now that's going to probably put you in a suite, but I know the other cruise lines, you can't do that. Oh, 4 infants. Haha. I hope not. That would be a lot of, woo, taking 4 infants on a cruise. Woo, that'd be a lot of work. Okay, you can add another stateroom. Sorry, I just entertained myself. All right, then we're gonna go to Florida. I just picked that. Again, you can pick multiple destinations, although I don't, okay, Bahamas, there we go. Bermuda. That'd be good. Okay, you can pick a ship if you want to. If I don't know what ship, I don't always put that in. If we pick July, you can pick multiple months in this one as well. So that's nice. And then your duration, 7 days. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so these are going out of, this just tells you a lot of information, Saturday to Saturday. Yeah, round trip from Miami. I like how they, excuse me, put in the port right here because on some of them you have to like click on extra things just to see where it's leaving. So let's pick the Luna. The Luna is, I believe, one of their newer ships. I know Lisa knows she's the NCL Queen Booker, man. She knows NCL. All right. So this is a nice little quote. Oh, I should show you too. I like to compare them. Let's see, compare, and then I will choose multiple ones, right? And then this is really nice. It gives you all 3 in one page, and then I screenshot the page and I send it. Um, So that's one way I do it quick. You can choose the category, this travel protection. Okay, so you can choose it. They have some different levels. Oh, it's not going to go away, but that's okay. Um, that will change the price though. The thing I like too about this one, it shows you inside is this price, ocean view is this price, balcony is this price. So again, you can screenshot this, send it to your customer, and then they can see, like I can scroll my page down a little bit. Oh, okay. Tech trick that I learned, I'm just sharing. You can make your page smaller to include all this fun stuff that we want. What happened to my, oh, it is there. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna scroll down. So here we go, stateroom, balcony. So they can see the prices of all of these, right? And then that way they can like decide what they want to do. And if you go down a little further, it gives you the itinerary. So again, I would like screenshot this. Yeah, maybe like that, because here it tells what's the cruise, and then here it tells the itinerary. Cruise, itinerary, cruise, itinerary. Okay. So you can send that as a quote, because I don't really know how else NCL does a good quote unless someone else knows. But I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so if we want to pick one of these, let's see here. I'm gonna just say the Luna. Oh, I'm going balcony. Let's do balcony. All right, here we go. Then we're going to continue booking. Now, this is nice because it does let you say, do you want to go to the stateroom? Do you want to go to prices, guests, whatever. So that's really nice because in NCL, pricing and offers is important because you can add on everything. See here, they've got unlimited open bar, specialty dining, excursion credit, and Wi-Fi. I thought this was called More at Sea. It used to be free at sea. They switched it to More at Sea, and now I found out we're back to free at sea. So, like I said, I don't know. I can't keep up, but if you click on that little details, it does tell you what they get. One thing to keep in mind, this is for guests 1 and 2 only. So they only get the open bar. 1 and 2 get the specialty dining. You get $50 for the cabin, and then every shore excursion they book. So they do get $50 towards every shore excursion, but it only applies to the first guest on the reservation. But the first guest is the one that's going to book the excursion. So it's going to take $50 off, I believe, for the whole excursion, the total price, but you do pay per person. So anyway, and then this Wi-Fi is, oh, all guests in the stateroom. Oh, look at that. I thought it only applied to the first 2, but that must be different. So just some things to note. You can, yes, purchase this separately. So guests 3 through 8 under 21 will not receive substitutions. Okay, so there's some different options. You can read through that. Okay, so these are the offers that they give. You can change these. This is if you want to put in a service charge. And again, you can click on these and it tells you what they are, right? You can also take these off. There are some funny things, like sometimes you can't just have the excursions and the Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. There's different combinations, but if you try to go ahead, it won't let you if it won't work. You know what I mean? So you have to just play around with those, but you can take that off and then it will change the price right up here. And I like to click on this right here. I really wish they would take this line right here out, commission earned. Why can't they just take that line out and like put it at the bottom or something, right? Because I will sometimes screenshot this page and send them this details. I like to send them these details. But what I'll do on this is I just split it up. I'll do one screenshot above the commission line, and then I'll do another screenshot below the commission line, and then that way they see the full screen, but I have to split it up because of that silly little commission line right there. I don't want them to see that. But anyway, so that would be something I would suggest to them to change, but who am I, right? Okay, and then here you can put in their airport, you can book flight through them. I have some customers that love using the flights through them. They do know that it might not be the best flights. They could possibly have multiple stops, things like that. But that's something to make sure you explain to your customers. And then you can go to guest details and then you can hold that reservation. So, all right, I am gonna go ahead and stop recording. Thanks everybody for coming. I hope you learned something.